Who is that? Listen, I know I've been slacking on the videos, man. I've been busy. I've been doing the traveling ting, the friends, the fam, the preparations. It's been a mad ting. No time for the videos. However, we're back today. I'm gonna be making a pretty cool video for y'all, and we're also gonna be starting a series since I am starting my cut in 2 days. We're gonna be making cutting series throughout Ramadan, so it's gonna be a very fun time. So make sure you leave that like, you leave that freaking subscribe as well, so that you can follow through with me during my training and diet in Ramadan. Ramadan's a time for you to be prioritizing your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fasting, praying, reading your Quran, ibadah, da'wah, you know, making sure you're on top of your zakat. All of these types of things are things you should prioritize during Ramadan. Today, I am here to do my job of making sure you don't look like a skeleton by the end of Ramadan, or you're not fat as hell by the end of Ramadan. So without further ado, we're just gonna hop right in. Let's go. So quick summary of the video is going to be summed up in multiple parts. First part is going to be for people who can stay awake at night throughout the whole night, which is going to be a lot easier for them to manage throughout Ramadan. And then the second part is going to be for people who have to be up in the morning and have work throughout the day, and then they are obviously not staying up at night. And from there, we're going to be talking about training, sleep, what to eat during different meals, what types of macros are most optimal to be putting in your body surrounding your training periods, fluid intake, and all that good stuff. So we'll go step by step here throughout the video, but we're gonna go ahead and start about the two different, you know, types of fasters, if that makes sense. Now, if you're awake all night, you have, this is going to be the most, in my personal opinion, that I have actually experimented with, the most ideal times of food consumption throughout your fasting days. So I'm gonna go ahead and move over right here so I can put them on the side. Your first meal is going to be around iftar time. That's gonna be around 8 p.m. All right, and then your second meal is going to be around midnight. And then your last meal is gonna be before suhoor, or during suhoor, sorry, and that's going to be around 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m., give or take. So this is gonna be, for me, the most optimal timings for whenever people are staying up at night. This is also gonna be me throughout Ramadan, inshallah. And then in regards to the gym, you have two options here. You're gonna be a little bit more flexible whenever you are staying up throughout the night. You can go between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m., or you can go between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. Me personally, I'm gonna be going between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. After this, I'm gonna be talking about the best macros that you should be eating throughout these different meal times. So now, if you have to be up in the morning, you have work, school, whatever it may be, and you can't stay up at night, you are going to be having two meals. Your first meal is going to be at 5 a.m. or during suhoor time, in other words, and then your second meal is going to be during iftar time around 8 p.m. And you're probably gonna be having to eat a little bit more food throughout these meals because it's only 2 instead of 3. However, it's probably gonna be the most ideal way of going about your fasting and your training. Your training is gonna be at 5 a.m. right after your suhoor time. So you're gonna have suhoor, eat your food, and then you're gonna maybe wait 30 minutes to an hour and then go train and then continue on about your day, whether it's work, school, or whatever it may be. Now we're gonna be talking about the types of food that you should be eating throughout these meals. So we're gonna go ahead and start with person A, who's gonna be up all night during Ramadan. Person A is gonna be a lot more lucky. Their first meal should be something that is gonna be very fast digesting. And this is assuming that you're going to the gym between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. So you want some fast digesting carbs, fast digesting, you know, protein. So for example, my best bet is gonna be something like 2 scoops of whey, rice, or something like rice, something like oatmeal, some kind of quick carbs that I can get in that are like digested fully by like 11 p.m. so that I can hit the gym and be out by like midnight. So you're gonna wanna avoid the slower digesting foods right during your iftar time, meaning like steak, chicken, vegetables, things with a lot of fiber. These are gonna take a long time to digest and are gonna be having you feeling bloated throughout your workout. Fast digesting foods are gonna be your go-to, especially because during this time, you're gonna be so depleted that I'm pretty sure whatever you throw in your body is gonna be digested like this. So take advantage of that fast digestion, and then that way, by the time your training starts, you are ready to go, you're feeling good. Your second meal is gonna be something that's totally subjective. You can do what you want on that second meal. It doesn't really matter because it's around midnight after your training. Me personally, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get my protein in because it's gonna be after my workout, and just maybe a smaller couple snacks here and there. However, your 5 a.m. meal, or your meal whenever it's suhoor time, is gonna be something that's gonna be a lot less fast digesting and more slower digesting, meaning great time to get in all your vegetables, your fibers. You can get in some carbs as well. Obviously, if you have casein whey protein, that's going to be something that's perfect as well. Also, steaks, chicken, heavier meats are going to be great things to have during your suhoor time. That way you're feeling more satiated throughout the day and you're not starving. So definitely go for your slower digesting foods during suhoor. You can go on Google and literally search slow digesting foods or slow digesting carbs, slow digesting proteins, and just a whole list of this type of stuff. So don't hesitate to do that if you want to. If you're person B and you have to be up in the morning and you can't stay up at night, you're going to be having all of your fast digesting foods at 5 a.m. before your workout. You're going to wait like an hour, hour and a half before you start your training, and that way you're not feeling too full and you're feeling just rightly satiated, so you're not feeling sluggish throughout your day either. Like we mentioned, all of the types of foods beforehand. And then at 8 p.m. you're going to be having all of your slow digesting foods so you can stay satiated throughout the night. You can fall asleep easier that way because whenever you're fully satiated on slow digesting foods, you tend to feel sleepier. So like we mentioned, 5 a.m. fast digesting foods. Train at 8 p.m. you're going to be having all your slow digesting foods. And like I mentioned, quick Google search, you can see all types of foods that are fast and slow digesting. Now that we got all of the nutritional and meal and all that good stuff out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and start talking about training and what types of training you should be doing during Ramadan. So during Ramadan, it's not gonna be a time where you're gonna be going for all in PRs and like super heavy weight and just straight taxing your body. Ramadan is gonna be a time where you're gonna be maintaining, gaining a little bit of muscle at the best type of situation, and probably in most cases losing a minimal amount of muscle. And your main goal during Ramadan is going to be to minimize the muscle loss. Training is, like I mentioned, going to be a lot more high rep, less intensity, less volume, less heavy weight. So in my personal opinion, what I usually do is like I grab moderate weight, usually like 80% of maxes, 70% of maxes. Instead of doing sets of 5, I'm doing sets of 10 to 12, keeping the intensity relatively lower, not taxing my body. That way I have energy throughout the rest of the day and throughout the rest of the night to be working on other things that I should be prioritizing during Ramadan, inshallah. It's also a great time to try things like time over tension, hypertrophy, drop sets, supersets, and just things that are not going to be as taxing on your joints, muscles, ligaments, and your goal is to not kill yourself during Ramadan. It's to, you know, maintain and gain a little bit at best, like I mentioned, and lose a little bit at worst. So, all right, in regards to your sleep, sleep is something that we usually all struggle with during Ramadan. However, we kind of get used to it as the month goes on. And best advice to you is, if you're going to be one of the people who are having to be awake during the day because you have work or whatever, like we mentioned, naps are going to be your best friend. So try to hit that 1 hour nap throughout the day sometime, right? Maybe when you get back from work around 6 p.m. up until, if it's a lot of time, you know, take an hour to read something on, take an hour to take a nap right before. That way you're not going to be dragging yourself to the masjid tarawih like a zombie after that and just like be straight dead. So naps are going to be very, very crucial during Ramadan. So fluid intake. Water is essential during Ramadan. Your goal should be, or for me personally, I'm going to be drinking at least minimum 1 gallon throughout Ramadan. If not, you should be drinking half to 3/4 of a gallon. Literally during Tarawih, have 3 water bottles lined up in front of you and just make sure you chug all 3 of them throughout Tarawih. Like, you need to be drinking a lot of water, especially if you're going to be training. Muscle tears, tendon tears, joint issues, all are potential problems during Ramadan if you're dehydrated. So try your best to avoid these types of injuries and stay hydrated, stay feeling good, stay sweating, and keep your body in optimal shape throughout Ramadan as well. My personal regimen throughout Ramadan is going to be fasted cardio right before I break my fast around 7 p.m. because I am going to be on the cut. Having a pretty hefty meal at iftar time, around 750 calories, 2 scoops of whey protein are probably going to be involved in that meal. And then I'm going to go ahead to the masjid, pray tarawih, do all that good stuff, and then head to the gym around 11 p.m. midnight, training, and then going back home, eating my second meal, and then my third meal right before suhoor ends. The fasted cardio is going to be killer, but you know, I'm definitely up for the challenge. I'm excited, and I'm also excited for a lot of other parts of Ramadan as well. But that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to comment about nutrition, Ramadan, fasting, fluid intake, training, whatever it may be. I'm more than happy to help out. Also, I have some friends who are on YouTube right now who just started. First one's gonna be Abdurrahman Morsi. I believe his YouTube channel is called Egypt Turk, and I'm gonna be leaving a link of his video in my description. He's probably gonna be doing some really cool videos during Ramadan. He's also a dental student, so definitely check him out. Also, if you're into stock trading or crypto, I have a friend who just started a kind of trading type of YouTube channel in Arabic. So if you only speak Arabic, or that's maybe a second language for you, and you're interested in these types of things, go ahead and check him out. His name's Static Tech. The link is gonna be in the description as well. I also have a friend who does shoe reviews. He's also gonna be in there. He has some really cool shoes on feet and like a lot of other type of 360 aerial types of reviews. And finally, we have my little cousin. He has the best vlogs on YouTube in my opinion. If you speak Arabic, you'd love his videos, and go ahead and check them out. Links are also going to be in the description for that as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed these videos, and episode 1 of The Cut is coming soon. I'm super excited for this Ramadan, inshallah. I'm gonna Ramadan Mubarak to all my brothers and sisters, inshallah. Work on yourselves first, then you can work on gym second. Work on your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he is not going to give you any barakah in the gym if you do not work on that first. So peace out, guys, and Ramadan Mubarak.